that was a big kind of thing that drove, you know, what we wanted to do for Magic. And I guess, in a long-winded way, how I'm trying to answer your question is like, I think that is the most kind of personal piece to me is that like I get to talk with amazing restaurateurs all over the world like every week, you know? Like who can say that?
You created magic because you saw a gap. But beyond that, what's the part of magic that feels most personal to you?
Ooh. Well, I mean, listen, I'm doing this because I love this business. Like, I can't get this business out of my blood, even if I tried. Even though I don't own a restaurant right now, it's with you, right? And it's my community, it's my people. It's so crazy because I'll be at an event that I am not cooking at, and yet I will step into the kitchen and I'll feel like, okay, I feel so much better. Like my anxiety goes down. Like I'm like, this feels right. Like, okay, I know this space. Like you know what I mean? Like
I do.
it's so weird. And like that just never goes away. And so, a lot of that has told me that like, listen, I've had just as many situations as a lot of people where I kind of just I'm like, "What am I doing? Like, what am I doing in this space? Like, should I be a chef? Do I wanna keep consulting? Like, do I like, what is my role, right? And what is the long game?" And, like, I didn't have an answer for that for a long time because, like, I think going through with what I went through with my last restaurant, it was really hard for me to justify kind of the headspace in which it really required for me to be back in the industry in a full-blown way in an operator role. And so, I kind of said to myself, well, what can I do? And so my decision was to figure out a way to support the people who are having those kinds of thoughts all the time, right? And because I know I would have loved it, I would have needed it, back when I was an operator. So that's really kind of how Magic came to be. I think scale is something that we talk about a lot at Magic, and how do we scale? And like, scaling is not something that most restaurants really think of unless you're a franchise or a fast food model or whatever. Um, if you're an independently owned restaurant, what does scale really mean to you? I guess, maybe you start to think about how you scale your systems or how you scale your recruitment processes or how you scale your trainings maybe across multiple locations, things like that. But ultimately, scale doesn't really mean that much. And so for us, it was kind of like, well, what if we bring that mentality to the business in terms of like, here's how you can set yourself up to scale. And I think like that was a big kind of thing that drove, you know, what we wanted to do for Magic. And I guess, in a long-winded way, how I'm trying to answer your question is like, I think that is the most kind of personal piece to me is that like I get to talk with amazing restaurateurs all over the world like every week, you know? Like who can say that? And I get to check in with people and I get to kind of coach folks and I get to talk with them about, what's working, what isn't, and we get to develop strategies around how they can adapt and change. And listen, we live in a fucked up world and there's a lot of stuff going on. And it's an increasingly difficult world to operate a restaurant for sure, probably more than it's ever been. And I know we've said that every year for the last like 30 years, but here we are. So in this moment, like as we move even more into the digital age, like this has to be a solution. The kind of confluence of technology and systematizing processes and also still kind of having that fervor for the creative ambition that we all do as operators, like those things have to find a way to live in the same space. And so that's what Magic really aims to do, and that is something that's really personal to me.